Many companies these days, in order to remain competitive, have to find ways to innovate, try to closely reflect the needs of their customers. Modern issues that they face include taking into account environmental costs of the business, striving for sustainable production, and greater emphasis on looking to the health of employees and how work impacts on that. And if you're working at a management level, you may find yourself being asked to balance these considerations while at the same time maximising profits. And the idea of working smarter rather than harder, it's been around for some time, but it does require a shift in your thinking and how you approach management duties. The expectation has been increasingly to not only develop your management skills, but also your leadership skills. And with this in mind, this video today is going to explore how NLP can be used to upskill both your management and leadership potential. I'm going to explore the application of NLP strategies as an effective pathway to becoming an exceptional manager and leader in your organisation. In an increasingly competitive world, people are the business's main asset. Courting loyalty and trust from employees is extremely important. And for those in management and leadership roles, NLP can be a central skill set that you can use to build and maintain positive working relationships with staff, which in turn equates to better staff retention and greater productivity. Hi, Lesley Hornsby here. It's no secret that I'm a big proponent of NLP, and in my years as a life coach using straightforward coaching practices and applying appropriate NLP techniques, I've helped a lot of people move closer to achieving their goals. If you've never heard of NLP, it just stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's a collection of models, strategies and techniques that, when properly applied, enable you to have a better understanding of how to deal with your emotions, your mindset and thinking. And it's really relevant whether that be in your personal or professional life. And if you find that it's something that interests you and you'd like to hear more about it, I post regularly, so you just need to hit subscribe to be alerted to more of the same. If you're looking to become a better boss by improving management and leadership skills, NLP can help you get there. The qualities that the world's best leaders possess include not least a respect and consideration for the people around them. Then there's an openness to learning, able to demonstrate humility, and have strong ethics which they defend rigorously. Individuals who possess these traits, they just manage other people really well. They also excel as leaders because they tend to have exceptional communication skills, passion, drive, and emotional intelligence. These qualities may well be within you, but perhaps they just need some cultivating. It's not really surprising that it might well mean that you have to be willing to adopt new ways of learning, as well as adapting your thinking and behaviour. So why then would NLP be something that could help you achieve this? Much of what constitutes NLP practice is understanding how your thought processes and behaviour, including the language that you use, influences the way you think and how others react to you and the results that you get. A primary driver in NLP is to use models, techniques and strategies that have evolved from modelling excellence. If you model successful behaviour and thinking in any field, it enables you to bring about a positive change in yourself and others. In recent years, the benefit of NLP has become universally acknowledged, not least because it can very often achieve results quickly using techniques that are simple but effective and focus on reprogramming behaviour patterns, encouraging self-belief, and, if appropriate, realigning values. And if you're doubting you possess the necessary traits, it's worth understanding that great leaders are made, not born. To be great, qualities of empathy and confidence are key, and of course being a good communicator, able to manage teams, deal with challenges, and understanding human relationships are all essential. Now, goodness knows many of us suffer from imposter syndrome when we get promoted into management or leadership positions, especially if no proper training is provided beforehand. Poor self-confidence, battling learned patterns of fear, and our self-defeating inner critic can be formidable hurdles to overcome. It requires learning new ways of thinking, and that's exactly where NLP excels, in helping you to better understand how you and others think and how those thoughts affect your emotions and behaviour. Moreover, NLP also focuses on empowering people to develop positive thinking and feeling, which in turn supports any organisation's goals as well as promoting personal development. NLP consists of many different powerful sets of techniques designed to impact change and outcome. Some of the most frequently used techniques in this context are reframing, anchoring, rapport, and pacing and leading, and I'm going to be touching on those later in the video. NLP is a tool for addressing the barrier beliefs that can impede your ability to manage and lead. Communication, connection, and culture are essential for leaders, and right out the gate, much of that is about building rapport. And at the heart of most businesses, it's its people. So it's no surprise that a key component of success is down to the interaction of those people, whether that's on a one-to-one or in groups. And it's no surprise that rapport is central to good communication, and it is an essential element in influencing people. If you can leverage NLP in communication, the relationship between the leader and team will become stronger. Conversation has so much more to it than just verbal communication, and it's as much about the non-verbal cues as the words spoken that you need to look to in order to facilitate the true meaning of your message. Building rapport then is essential for the durability of a relationship. When you develop an unconscious rapport with another person, it leads to greater openness, more productive discussion, and when necessary makes them receptive to negotiation. Whether managing or working in a leadership role, there are inevitably times when you're going to be under pressure of some kind. And in these situations, your team will be looking to you in those moments of crisis. To be effective, you need to be ready to handle the pressure, project calm and assurance, and encourage your team to work with you through challenging times. NLP can help in understanding people's actions and motivations, and it's an important skill in any leadership role. The way you can achieve this insight is to understand the role of values and beliefs in your people. Being sensitive to the needs and desires of them is a key part of this understanding, and it will help you build stronger relationships. Another vital quality in managing people is to accept that making mistakes is pretty much unavoidable. After all, we're all human, and that goes for owning up to your own missteps as well as other people's. There's no future in playing the blame game. People don't usually fail deliberately, and of course there may be mitigating factors at play. Perhaps the delegation was poor and unclear. A staff member didn't feel confident about asking questions for clarification. Maybe there were no milestones set, or if appropriate, no ongoing support or oversight offered whilst the task was being executed. I could literally write book upon book on this topic, but I digress. You know, sometimes failures are the best feedback you can get. In some instances, they can open up opportunities for people to learn from those mistakes. Potentially, they may even throw up ideas for tackling things in novel ways. Using NLP techniques will help you gain confidence and enhance your leadership style so that you feel comfortable in giving your people space to be creative, encouraging them to take calculated risks and experiment with new paths and solutions. So to give you some context to the NLP techniques that I mentioned earlier, let me give you a few examples. Let's start with reframing. When delegating a task to your subordinates, how you frame the task can impact on how your team members perceive it, whether it's in terms of its difficulty or importance. Reframing how you phrase things can completely alter the perception of what you're saying. For example, you might talk about something as a challenge rather than a problem. A classic example of changing in this way is the phrase, "a glass is half empty." The reframe, of course, is "the glass is half full," and is a good example of showing a positive attitude in a situation rather than a negative one. Like anything, if this isn't your natural communication style, it's going to take a bit of practice and repetition, and that's the order of the day. So you might even choose to rehearse how you delegate a task. You could write it down or record it and assess your delivery and whether it needs reframing at any point. You'll find this technique results in more effective communication and can positively influence the behaviour and the response of your employees. Managing people usually means that stress isn't that far away. One of the NLP techniques that can help to reduce stress quickly and easily is anchoring. Utilised properly, it can combat negative emotional states. The purpose of this technique is to teach you to associate a positive memory with a specifically chosen gesture. And you can apply it to yourself. A simple example being the state of feeling good can be anchored to pressing a spot in the middle of your hand. Obviously, there's more to achieving this than it sounds, but with the proper coaching, it can be a very effective tool. The same goes when dealing with others. So for instance, it's possible to create a link between touching a person's shoulder and associating a positive feeling in them so that they smile unconsciously. This technique is useful for managers in facilitating an immediate change in how a person feels. Mastering the anchoring technique and changing a negative feeling to a positive one is possible because the emotional state is closely linked to our 5 senses, and we're predisposed naturally to make connections between stimulus and our emotions. Now, I've already talked about building rapport as an important skill. One technique that you can explore as part of that process is called mirroring. This entails matching body language, posture, breathing, and tonality of another person. It's one of the more challenging skills in NLP and will require subtlety and done for the purpose of harmony and not to manipulate. Part of this technique is down to identifying the other person's main sensory perception, and that might be visual, kinesthetic, or auditory. Different sensory perceptions use different types of rapport. As an example, when the recipient's main sensory perception is auditory, for example, a statement such as "I hear you" may well resonate more effectively with them than another way of saying it. For those who lean to the visual, you might use a phrase such as "I can see what you're saying." And if the primary sense is kinesthetic, then it becomes "it feels like the right choice." For example, demonstrating understanding and appreciation of another person's point of view whilst matching your body language can help to create a harmonious environment. Done well, this NLP technique makes other people feel recognized and valued, which inevitably leads to more effective management. As with any of these techniques, this is not about manipulating people, but working towards better communication. In the context of negotiation or conflict resolution, you can try harnessing the NLP skill of perceptual positioning. This process is aligned to reframing and helps the other person to realign their personal mind map. Now, there's no magic to this. It's just a case of placing them in the shoes of the person they're in conflict with. This relies on working through both the conscious and the unconscious, so its implementation needs to reach both. The benefit of this is that you're more likely to be able to achieve a win-win situation, as both parties are able to see things from their perspective. This is by no means a comprehensive list of the techniques that you can apply. NLP is limitless and endless, and it's been successfully applied to any number of areas, including business, health, therapy, and law for the last 30 years. People are the most important asset of any organisation, but managing them is often challenging, and to be effective, you need to be able to draw on a variety of proven techniques and skills to perform your role successfully. Trying to control people or events is a doomed endeavour. What you can do is manage your response to people and guide them to achieve their objectives. Applying NLP skills in any organisation is an opportunity to not only increase staff efficiency in the workplace, but improve morale and lessen employee turnover through understanding and motivating your people, whether that be individually or in groups. I hope this video has given you some useful help on using NLP when working in a management or leadership role. At its heart, NLP is about reprogramming your mind to focus on the positives and your personal strengths rather than the negative. If you've already applied any NLP techniques, by the way, and it would be really good to hear about it, so please do share your stories here and leave a comment below. And as always, if you'd like some one-to-one help, then by all means just get in touch. You can use the contact link I've added below to this video, and you can make a 30-minute appointment with me for a preliminary obligation-free chat. And if you'd like to read a bit more about anchoring and some other techniques, I've added a free guide. You could just use the link below to be able to download a PDF. Remember to click subscribe to get more videos. I post every week. And in the meantime, thank you very much for your company. I hope you can join me again next time for more help and advice on leading a more fulfilled life. Bye for now.